name is Shakayla. I create and share delicious plant-based recipes and inspiration. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. By the title of this video, you can already tell that this is all about holiday dinners. I am going to share with you all what I plan to eat for the holidays, plant-based style. This food is going to be delicious. I've actually already finished cooking it. So on the plate, we have some green beans, vegan mac and cheese, fried oyster mushrooms, candied yams, collard greens, dressing with gravy, brown sugar glazed tofu, the cranberry sauce. Hey girl, hey!
Hey, beauty!
You, listen, the people have not seen you. I'm actually in the middle of recording and the people have not seen you in a long time. I think it's time that you say hello.
Ooh, girl!
Yes.
Wait a minute. You moved the plate. I'm dancing like I'm getting ready to get me a plate of.
I know, that's right. So I was just telling them, well, I went through the whole thing, but I have collard greens, we got some dressing with gravy, I got some cranberry sauce, I have my vegan mac and cheese, I have some green beans, fried oyster mushrooms, some tofu, and some candied. Y'all look at her. Now y'all see where I get it from. Why is she like this? Y'all, okay, let's get into the rest of this video. Cheers. First up, I'm gonna show you how I make my collard greens. So let's get into that. So collard greens, although I am sharing it here in this video, which is centered around a holiday dinner, this is honestly something that we can make throughout the year. So for my collard greens, I add in some olive oil, some minced garlic, as well as my diced bell peppers and onions. I cook that until it's fragrant, so for about 3 to 5 minutes. After I cook those, I'll add in the collard greens that I washed and cut up, and then I will just give that a good mix until the collard greens cook down a bit. And then we add in the vegetable broth, some water, as well as liquid smoke. And I like to have enough liquid so that it fully covers the collard greens, because we are going to cook these for about 2 hours. You're just gonna let them simmer over the stove for about 2 hours. Don't forget to add your seasonings in there. So I just went in with some salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and cayenne pepper. I just covered it and I checked on it every now and then. This is also one that you will want to taste and make adjustments as needed. But honestly, that's what you're going to find with a lot of these meals in here. You have to cook these to your liking. Okay, so next we are going to get into the green beans. So I'm going to show you guys how I make my garlicky and parmesan, vegan parmesan green beans. These garlicky green beans are probably one of the easiest side dishes in this video, but this is also one that you can make throughout the year as well. Don't feel as if you have to wait until the holidays to cook this. So what I start off by doing is I wash and clean my green beans, and then I trim the ends off. In a skillet, I'll add some olive oil, I'll heat up some minced garlic, and then I'll just add in my green beans. You're just gonna cook all that together, cover it with a lid, let it simmer, check on it every now and then, mix it around, add some seasonings, add some vegetable broth as needed, but you can also finish these off by grating some vegan parmesan on top. That's what I love to do, and it is so delicious. Next, I am showing y'all how I make my dressing. And it is so good. It seriously reminds me of the dressing I used to eat growing up at holiday dinners with my family. So for my dressing, I just cut up some celery as well as some onion and bell pepper, added that to a skillet and cooked it with salt and pepper for about 3 minutes until it was tender, as you can see here. After that, I transferred it to a bowl and just set it aside because I want to use the same skillet to make my cream of mushroom. So for that, you'll just need some vegan butter. followed by some all-purpose flour. Use a whisk to mix that together really good, and then add in your onions as well as your mushrooms. Cook that up. And then you're gonna pour in the vegetable broth, followed by your plant milk. I like to season my cream of mushroom with some salt, black pepper, thyme, as well as garlic powder. But again, make adjustments as you see fit based off of your taste buds. And we're just gonna cook that for about 5 minutes, but be sure to stir frequently while you are letting that simmer. So I cooked up some cornbread the day before and I just left it sitting on the counter. I am crumbling that because this is going to be the base of our dressing. I added it to a bowl, followed by those cooked vegetables and some salt, garlic powder, dried herbs, sage, and black pepper. And then I poured in the cream of mushroom mixture that we just whipped up, followed by some vegetable broth. You don't want to add too much because you want this to be moist but not soupy, if that makes sense. And the last thing that we're going to add in here is vegan liquid egg. If you check out the description box, I list which brand of vegan liquid egg I choose to use. And if you can't find a vegan liquid egg, you can always use flaxseed egg as a really good substitute. So I just mixed that together, transfer it to a greased baking dish, and then I bake in the oven for 20 minutes covered and then 20 minutes uncovered on 390 degrees. Alright, so now that we've gone through that, we are going to get into my candied yams. Now the candied yams are pretty straightforward. You just peel the skin off and slice them. In a pot, you're gonna add about 3 tablespoons of water, followed by those sliced sweet potatoes. I went with coconut sugar, but you can use brown sugar, followed by either white sugar or a sugar alternative. For mine, I went with the monk fruit sweetener, which use what you prefer to use for your candied yams. I also added in some cinnamon, nutmeg, and vegan butter. And these candied yams are so good, y'all. Honestly, you may be wondering, is it gonna taste the same with the coconut sugar? And I promise you it does. It was still so good. So I already have a video on this. I actually posted it this past Wednesday, so it's the video just before this one. Now I'm gonna show you guys how I make my vegan mac and cheese, which is so good. So my vegan cheese, I use the Chow Creamy Original Slices as well as the So Delicious or the Follow Your Heart vegan cheddar cheese. And I add both of those to a food processor. Now, when it comes to the type of noodle that I like to use, my go-to is a cavatappi, but you can also make these with elbow noodles as well. Into the noodles, once you drain them, I add a dollop of vegan sour cream as well as a sprinkle of salt, and I just give that a good mix. Now onto the roux. So I added down some butter as well as some flour. I just mixed that with a whisk until it was combined. And then next I went in with a plant milk. Typically I use whether it be a cashew milk, an almond milk. You could also use a soy milk, but just make sure it's an unsweetened original flavor. There's nothing worse than accidentally using a sweet flavored milk. Believe me, I've done it before, so just make sure you get unsweetened original. And so after you add in the milk and you give that a good mix, I go in with some salt, pepper, smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, and then I also add in some vegan cream cheese to help give it more of a creamy texture. And then next we just add in our vegan cheese. And now I would recommend reserving some of the cheese so that you can sprinkle it on top. Maybe keep aside about half a cup of the vegan cheese. And then the last thing we're gonna add in here before we combine the cheese mixture with the noodles, we are going to add in some nutritional yeast. Next, we're going to bake the mac and cheese in the oven on 390 degrees for about 25 minutes covered and then 20 minutes uncovered. And there you have it. You have officially made vegan mac and cheese that tastes amazing. All right, and for the main dish, or the main entree, mains, whatever, we are going to have some crispy fried oyster mushrooms. So let's get into that. Now for the fried mushrooms, you take all-purpose flour as well as cornmeal. I season mine with salt, black pepper, garlic powder, smoked paprika, and poultry seasoning. Mix that together, and I transferred mine to a bag so that once I'm ready to begin combining and coating the mushrooms, it just makes it a lot easier. Now in a bowl, I combined plant milk, hot sauce, mustard, and a little bit of the flour mixture, and I did the double dip method. So I took the mushrooms, I added them to the plant milk, then I added them to the bag, back to the plant milk, and then back to the bag. And I like to fry my mushrooms in grapeseed oil, or honestly whatever oil I have on hand, but my go-to is typically grapeseed. Now for our gravy, I start off by adding in some vegan butter, some more flour, and I'm just gonna keep whisking that until it starts to brown. Like, this probably took about 5 to 10 minutes to get to this state, because you also don't want to have the fire super high. You want to keep it at around like low to medium heat, but just keep mixing with a whisk until it begins to brown. I added in some onions as well as mushrooms. And then you're gonna add in your vegetable broth and continue to mix that. Now, when it came to the seasonings, I used salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and jarred parsley. Y'all, that gravy was so good. So I really hope that you make it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that this inspires you to whip up a delicious plant-based holiday dinner for you and your family, for your friends, for your loved ones, or even for yourself. Mom, do you want to say anything?
No, I'm on one of them plates.
Okay, well, you need to come visit. Y'all see how she do me? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Mama, this dressing is so good. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. I will see y'all next week.